Good evening, YouTuber subscribers and friends and the like. It's Grant coming at you from the middle northern part of San Antonio. If you go 20 miles north of San Antonio, that's currently where I'm at. Occasionally along your trips, you'll find little pull-offs here where they took the road out. As you can see right there, the intersection, they took this road that was a cut across out in order to make that intersection. Little pull-offs like this along your travels that you can pull off, living free in a van, in a car, whatever, and pull off for the night, and you risk a 50-50 chance that a state trooper or local police officer, or most likely a sheriff's deputy, would come along in the middle of the night and say, hey, what's going on, you know, with your car. But there's the other 50% chance that it's not going to be like that. As with my other videos that I've said, I'm in the middle of the heart of what most people would call the Republic of Texas. You can't really see too much the sunset. The camera doesn't do it justice at all. The sunset that I'm seeing compared to what the camera sees over there. But I mean, it'd be a brilliant night out here in the middle of nowhere, and I may very well do that. Camp out here and just watch the sunset. On one of my very many adventures. This is why I get out here and do it. Back in the day in 2001, if you'd have told me I was exploring the country like this, I'd have said you're insane. Who the hell would want to go do that? Because I was totally programmed in that slave type of deal where you're working 40-hour work week and etc. And these days, I'm lucky if I can get myself to work once a week on a day labor job, seems like. But I'm happier with this life than I was before that. I just came from that road, which goes out this Silver Valley Ranch golf resort thingy. We're supposed to meet the guy we had dinner and stuff and discussed it, but he's not really hiring until May. They have year-round positions and then they have seasonal positions, and I don't know why, but on the phone he made it sound like I could just show up and work. But when I got here, it's not. I could show up and work in May. So I don't know. Some employers do that to test you though and see if you'll come back during that time or whatever. And I told him I can't guarantee anything that far out, because like I've said in my videos before, I want to go into expediting here in a couple months, hopefully. As for my car situation, I haven't made a payment to it in 4 months, and they're, starting to nag at me on Facebook and everything else. And then so I called him back about it, and he said that I have 6 months total. Speaking of sheriff's deputy, there's one right there. Anyway, I have 6 months total because I paid in from April of last year when I bought it. So let's not count April for the down payment. Let's go May, June, July, August, September, or August. Maybe they are counting September, I don't know, but I got 5 or 6 months. And basically what he said they're going to be doing is each month that I go by not paying it, I don't risk anything except for the fact that I miss another month's payment. They take what amounts to $400 worth that I paid off of it again. So that I owe another $400 every time that I miss a payment, up until 6 months. And then at the 6 month mark, that's when they would look into doing repossession of it. So technically I do still have the car, payment or no payment, until April. Or wait, March, I think, because I can't get it. The other thing is I can't get it re-registered, and it's registered till February, end of February. So I got to do something with the car by the end of February. So certain things in this lifestyle don't work out, and one of the major things I will say, that was kind of plan A while I was living in Miles City, and it made sense to make payments on the car because you're going to stay in one place and work one job anyway. It was never really, this was always plan B to go out here and explore, but it was never really to not pay the car payments. It's just coming up with $400 a month while you're out here exploring and doing what you're doing. It's just not feasible. If I were you in your situation and you're looking to get out here, a used van or something, buy something that's, to start out with, you could buy something that's a little $500 beat around car, fix it up as you go, as long as you tend to fix it up as you go, and you could get around the country with that if you really, really wanted to ring it. But you could do that in your local city buy a $500 car just for someplace to store your stuff and live in. Save up the money, buy a better vehicle, and then go out exploring. There's different ways you can go about doing it. I just know how to get by on the bare minimum, on less in this country, just from the amount of time that I've spent out backpacking and living in cars and living in a van and camper van, etc. So, and at the end of the day, that makes it all worth it. You can kind of see what I'll be looking at tonight. But anyway, that's my latest update. Happy New Year's. It's 2017. I think it's January 2nd. And I'll have the car till the end of February. And then that's officially when I've used all my payments up that I've already made to it. Because I made 5 or 6 payments into it last year. And every time I miss a month, they're taking a payment back off. So, technically speaking, I'm not in trouble with the car for 2 more months until all of the money that I put into it is back per month. And I literally don't have any equity amount into it the way you said it. But the other thing is they want me to, because I talked to them about surrendering the car, and they want me to surrender it anywhere in the state of Montana. Outside of the state of Montana, that they don't want to make arrangements and it costs extra or something because they have to, I guess, go back through the realtor, or the dealer that I got the car from, or something, and only licensed in Montana. So he said something like, if I surrender it, it would cost me less in the long run to do so in Montana. If I chose to do so. But I have the choice to do so up until the end of February, in which case then after that they would obviously go for a repossession anywhere and whatnot. But anyway, that's a mix of what's going on with me lately. I haven't gotten the ranch job. I have 2 other ranch jobs to check out. Otherwise, I will be heading out west, I guess, for the RTR. Plan on, if I can get there fast enough. I only got like about a week. But you never know. If I find a ride share that's heading out that way, to split gas or get a really good job for a day or 2 worth, it doesn't really take much in terms of gas to get out there. I only have like 400 more miles or something like that to get across this, or no, maybe a little more than that. To get across the state of New Mexico and in the middle of Arizona for Quartzsite. I'm thinking about it though, if I can make the time to do it. But I am still planning on being here in Texas for the next day or 2 at least to check out these ranches around San Antonio for like and subscribe, leave comments, and we'll catch you on the flip. Peace. The camera doesn't do Texas's sunsets any kind of justice. I'm trying to get it on film for you. I am westbound on I-10 headed toward New Mexico. Get your next clip. It's Saturday, January 7th, 2017. I'm on an old road headed through Carlsbad, New Mexico. I spent last night in Fort Stockton, Texas. Including this trip, last time I came to Texas was in my Mazda. I did the northern part of Texas. This time around I did kind of the southern tip of Texas. And pretty much I feel like I've seen a lot of, maybe not all of what Texas has to offer, but a lot of what Texas has to offer. It'd be amazing how much you can get accomplished if you set your mind to it. This last time I was down there in Florida, I zigzagged all over Florida. Now I'm on the middle road in the middle of nowhere, and it doesn't look like much at all, as you can see. But getting out here is what it's all about. I'm going 55. The road itself is a speed limit of 75 miles an hour, and everybody seems to be rushing right along. Can't wait to pass me, etc. Getting to their jobs back and forth. People that don't even have jobs are booking it right along down this highway too. And I remember back in the day when I was 16 years old, of course the younger you are, the faster you want to go, but when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, in my teens, and even in my 20s, I would be, at the top of the line, lid-foot guy down the road, passing everybody at probably 10 or 15 miles over the speed limit, like I was in a big hurry. Nowadays it seems like I'm feeling my age, and I'm only in my mid-30s. 34 this last year, to be turning 35 at the end of this year. And I don't know, it just feels like I've been slowing down lately. So I don't mind cruising along at 55 miles an hour. It seems to be the sweet spot. We're coming up on some kind of road construction. One lane deal. Anyway, 55 mile an hour, I can keep the RPMs at 1.5 on the gauge. Instead, you go over 2 on this car, it seems like it starts to suck gas. The funny thing I realized coming up on this road is just like the last couple trips I made. The first time I went with my Mazda, I had sensor problems going out toward the end of that trip, and I still pushed it right along, and, you know, kind of on a hope and a prayer, really, when I'm getting out here doing it pennies on the time in a day. You can stop and work at a place for a week or something and make a car repair and etc. if you absolutely have to. But if you baby your ride, you can usually get it home to wherever you're going, depending on how far across country your home is. And anyway, when I was driving up this road this morning, I kind of realized I have a pattern of doing that, because in my camper van, when I took my camper van tour on the way back, I kind of pushed it there too. So first I had the Mazda, and it had sensor problems going out, and I barely made it back to Rapid City and sold it. Fixed it and sold it. And then I had the camper van, my Explorer, pushed it to its limit, but I could tell the engine was going to blow out anyway. There wasn't much use in saving it. And now, with this thing, this has got all sorts of sensors going off. With it under freezing, it did this last winter, where the tire pressure sensor thingy, when the temperature goes under freezing, it just says check your tire pressure and your tires are fine. It's just the tire pressure thingy is going off. And that'll be like that for a couple days until it's above freezing for a couple days straight, and then the sensor finally goes off. So that sensor I'm not worried about. But then I have another sensor going off, the light on the gauge, is because I'm past the oil change by about another half, which, yeah, I was pushing it. It's so probably about 4,000 miles or something like that, or 4,500. That one needs to get done, but being that I'm going to end up surrendering my car here in this next following week when I get up to Montana, I don't see the point in putting $30 more into an oil change. I can let them do it, because after that week it'll be their problem. Coming on, I'm coming into Carlsbad now. There's the Walmart. But anyway, basically I don't mind chumming along at 55 mile an hour. You can save gas. This thing does really good. You can get up to above 400 miles in the tank if you do 55 mile an hour on its sweet spot, really between 55 and 65. You go above that, it starts to eat gas. You go below that, it seems like it eats gas too. But anyway, doing 55 mile an hour, I'm gonna try to save as much gas as I can. I'm gonna go through Kitty Corner through New Mexico. But like I say, I'm not in a hurry, because like last night at Fort Stockton, Texas, it was 16 degrees as a low. Which some people are going to say that's not very cold, but after you spent the first half of winter, or a few months of winter, in Florida, when it was like 60 degrees at night, for some reason I'm kind of a chicken when it comes to temperature nowadays, even though back in my day, man, when I grew up in South Dakota and over in Montana and stuff like that, we had 6 feet of snow, and you'd get down to minus 20 at times. And so you'd look at 16 like, ooh, that's just a spring day, you know, or a fall day. It's not even full winter. But I don't know, it seems like the older I get, the more I start to notice some stuff like that. More sensitive to temperature. I want to take naps on occasion when I can afford to do it. Don't drive as fast as I used to, because it's just not worth it sometimes. Don't get me wrong, there are days, and depending on what I'm driving, usually not this, but if I was driving something like my little 2-door Neon flying down the road, or like a Camaro, I rented that Camaro a long time ago. That one, obviously, I ran it when I rented the Camaro. You gotta test the Camaro out. I mean, you have it. Gotta see how fast it'll go, etc. So there are times when I want to go fast, but majority of the time, especially when I'm driving something like an SUV, I've noticed that my lid foot is not as bad. You know, I'm more lazy in my old age, I guess I would say too, and I apply the cruise and stay off my lid foot. If I drove it, even this SUV or crossover, that not really an SUV, like a mini SUV, if I drove it out in the middle of nowhere where it could speed and didn't have the cruise on, and I wasn't paying attention, more likely my foot would become pretty fast. And it would just get heavy from just the motions of putting on the gas pedal, etc. That's interesting. So, I don't know, it just seems like the older I get, the more it makes me wonder. This town is full of oil rigs, and what I mean by oil rigs isn't necessarily the pickups and utilities. It's necessarily the big old trucks hauling oil refinery rigs. It's the really, really expensive looking dualies. It seems like even the people driving to the oil rigs to work, they all have to drive this big ass dually that sucks gas like you wouldn't believe, just as their personal pickup, not even for work purposes. Seems like it's the thing to do, and of course we're coming out of Texas, so there's that too. But officially, right now we're in New Mexico, in Carlsbad. But anyway, I'm going to be going kitty corner across New Mexico now, and the last time I went through New Mexico, I went east to west. So I'll be covering a lot of different areas of New Mexico that I haven't seen yet, and by the end of doing that, I'll have captured all of the major interstate or major kind of roads through New Mexico, so I can technically scratch that state off my list of having seen a lot of stuff. Maybe not so much the national parks, but everything else. And then I will be going kind of straight up the one edge, I forget what that interstate is, in Utah, and seeing a lot of Utah that I haven't seen south and north, going from south to north in Utah. I've been through Utah kitty corner the other way, going down to California. So again, I'll be scratching off more of the roads that I haven't used yet. And eventually I'm gonna make it up to Montana. Like I say, Butte, Montana is most likely where I'm going to end up surrendering the car, because I have 45 more days. Basically, I have one more month of a payment that I can miss before all of the payments that I made in that 8-month period that I worked, so eight or 9 payments, will have been counted back on their fees and their payments. They're taking a payment off that I made off for every single payment that I miss, and then plus their fees. And the more and more I got to looking at it, they're almost taking double, really, when you look at it. I mean, to the point where they're going to say, I haven't paid anything into the car. I think it's going to have a balance of like $200 that I put into the car at the end of February. And after that, they would put in for theft charges or something, he was saying. So I need to get the car back to Montana within 45 days. And that's the only reason I'm headed north. Otherwise, I wouldn't be chancing it. 16 degrees overnight last night in Fort Stockton. I'd much rather be heading out toward Quartzsite, Arizona, and Slab City, and places where it's warmer. Believe me, this is not my very first option that I'd pick if I had to choose it. But while I'm making this trip up into the cold snow and everything, mostly specifically to drop the car off, I'm going to take that opportunity and go around the Rockies, and on the other side of the Rockies that I haven't taken that interstate straight up through Utah yet. It's been a long time ago. I think I was on a bus going down there once a long time ago that I've taken some of that road, 10 years ago maybe or something. So, but unfortunately, by the time you guys see this video, I will already be in Montana, because my mom is one of the subscribers on my channel, and I'm trying to surprise her, and so I don't want to upload the video and let her know that I'm coming ahead of time. Yes, I could leave that out until like the next video or something like that, but at the same time, I'm trying to explain what all the purposes are. I'm gonna today make this video of going across New Mexico in sections, and I'm gonna stop in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and check out Breaking Bad sites for the TV series Breaking Bad, if you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it before. If you haven't, you haven't. Check out Walter White's house and stuff like that. While I'm in Albuquerque, might as well, it's things to look at for free. And Roswell, New Mexico is on my way by. I've already done that once before, so I don't know if I'm going to stop there or not. I might just film going through it or something, maybe. And then I'm going to be going through the Four Corners Monument, which is 4 states that come together. I'll show you that later on in the clip. And then I'll be getting up into Utah. I'll show you the beauty of Utah in this video. And then Montana, and surrender the car in Butte, Montana, and either I'm going to hitchhike or do a ride share or take the bus from Butte, Montana up to Kalispell, and show you some of that on this clip. And then I'll be able to upload the video, so it'll be like a week. It's going to take me 2 or 3 days to get up there, so it'll be like a week at least. before I'll be able to upload this, which by then you'll have seen it. But that's the whole point of it. And the reason behind my doing that is to try and get more content on the road and different places and different things I'm doing. Because I haven't been able to provide that much content, but being that I'm, barely getting by with the, doing the car insurance and food and gas, I don't take the time to, and I don't see the luxury or the reason to spend maybe $30 at this tourist trap or whatever, going to this place or that place, or even $10 or $5 here or there or whatever. The more and more times you do it, the more it adds up. And so I just, right now, I don't see the point. Now, mostly for my purposes, just getting out here and driving alone is well worth my time. Just for the sole point of getting out here and driving and watching the scenery. I don't know what it is about driving, man. I can just drive and drive and drive forever. So I should have just went with that thought a long time ago when I was 18 years old and went to go right into truck driving or something. I think I would have had a lot better life planned out. But things happen in your life and you meet people and go certain directions in your life where people help you out, or you meet other people who are complete a-holes, so to speak, etc. No matter if they're good or bad toward you, their attitude, whatever, at the end of the day, they help shape who you are. And so I don't regret the way my life has gone so far. It just, part of me wishes that I would have started out as a truck driver back in the day. I would have saw a lot of this country, and maybe I would have not liked traveling anymore because of it. A few years down the road driving, I don't know. But then again, when I was truck driving for the wheat harvesters, if I wouldn't have had so much of a mean, angry, old guy boss trying to teach me to truck drive, I probably would have had a better experience of it. But I think overall, end of the day, I don't know if I'd be able to, I mean, I could handle the big rig. Yeah, I've done it for that 3 weeks. I know I could do it. It's just traveling in an 18-wheeler, maybe pushing 85,000 pounds down the road, or it's pushing you down the road, is something completely different than driving a car. I truly believe that everybody, once they get about 5 years worth of driving experience in, say you get your license at 16 or 18 or whenever you do it, when your license expires in the 5 years or the 2 years, whenever the hell it is, I'd say at least 5 years worth of regular driving first. They should have you get into a semi and literally drive a semi down the road, or drive a motorcycle down the road, get an experience for what those people go through. It's driving a motorcycle or driving a semi in this road pathways would be a hell of a lot safer. Because there are people these days that don't even know how to drive a stick shift, pickup, manual, let alone drive an actual semi truck down the road. So that's an experience that I am forever grateful that I was able to have for at least those 3 weeks driving a truck, but I don't know if I'd really want to do it again as an actual career all the time. I do it for over the road for the purposes of driving, but not for the purposes of driving the truck. And so the idea is to go to Butte, Montana, surrender the car, go up to Kalispell, Montana, see my mom. Then I have about a month or somewhere between there to find work some way or another somewhere, either there or Miles City or back to Rapid City or someplace, and mainly to pay for the fee for the tax return up front so that I can get my tax return. And then when I get my tax return, I'm gonna go back to Ohio, get my driver's license changed over to an Ohio CDL for $500 worth when you figure all $85 for the physical and $200 for the testing and $100 for like the written testing. And then I'm gonna go into expediting, and by that time I have a fleet owner that's getting a newer van set up for February. So hopefully I'll get everything I want, and the fact that I'm driving newer equipment and be able to get that CDL and everything without a problem this next time around, since I've done this 3 or 4 different times without getting into it. But the difference between that and this time is that hopefully I'll have a tax return of between $1,500 and $2,000. Hopefully, I'm hoping for $2,000, the full $2,000 back, so that by the end of the day I can do $500 toward the CDL, $200 probably toward getting across country to get there to drive, and then still have that $1,300 left to drive with for the first couple weeks until you get paid, and be able to go into driving like this, literally 500 to 1,000 miles, or whatever the heck, in a day. Man, just watching the sights and getting paid for it. But this video clip's been pretty long, so I'll catch you in probably in Roswell, New Mexico next. Peace. Way to Carlsbad, New Mexico. I thought that one small town last clip was Carlsbad, but it's not. I still have a ways to go. It's one thing about going 55 mile an hour. Everything goes a little slower. Can't really read it from there, but they have this deal going on, just like back in the day on the Route 66. They had the pretty much shaved signs. Now they have these ones. I don't know if you'll be able to read them or not. That's about as much as I can zoom in, and it's shakes all over the phone, so. But I'll try. Wow, it's really zoomed in. I think that's 8 of them. Sure, I'm gonna zoom back out for a minute. Looking for the dip. Here comes a dip. Boink. Ooh, that was pretty hell of a dip. Yeah, that's it of the signs for now. Saturday, January 7th, 2017, I think it is. Guess where I'm at? That's right, people. I'm back in Roswell, New Mexico. I'll go check out some aliens in this tourist trap again. Two things I want to point out. I believe, if I remember right, last year, it might have been there summer, I don't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure there was light flurries of snow from the day before in just Roswell. I think I remember as I came in and as I left Roswell, it quit raining and snowing. And bad weather on either side, which is freaky. And then today, when I got in here, same thing. Snowy here, but I just left Carlsbad, and it was fine and a little bit warmer. So that's trippy. And I got here at just about sunset last time too. So last time would be 2 years ago now, I want to say. Pretty sure 2 summers ago, winters ago or something like that. Oh yeah. I didn't film it much last time around. I think just ready to walk up Main Street. 2 years ago, I went right down Main Street through here, just the same way I was driving through. That's east to west, and this year I'm going south to north. But aside from that, it's the same old place. If you want to get your tourist trap city on, this is where you go. Hunting for aliens. Still to this day, I haven't seen no weird lights or nothing out, you know, on the 4 edges of the desert on either side of here, so I don't know. I'm sure you're talking about on that deal. But maybe I hit it the wrong time of year or the wrong time of day or something. I'm on the very edge of Maine. Coming up here. It's kind of cold tonight, so I'm not going to stay off too long. But be right back with you. That's kind of interesting. For those of you who are wondering, I'm just doing kind of a main street, or a side street off of Main Street walk, for those people who don't get the chance to come down here. Maybe it'll excite and thrill some of you too. Make the trip down here and check it out for yourself. But until then, make a little bit of a walk down to the street for you. I did this 2 years ago too, but on the other street and one other way. I remember this shop. This is where I took that picture with that alien. Well, with the stand-up dummy-sized alien thing that I've got on my Facebook profile picture at one time. I might change my Facebook profile picture back to that too, since I'm here for now anyway, for a while. But this is basically it. I'm gonna take some pictures for Facebook. I might hit you up in another clip here later on down here if I see something else interesting. Kinda neat, but I'm not anymore. It's cold. Did I ever tell you I hate snow? That's the reason, the whole entire reason for not wanting to come up north was avoid the snow and the cold. Fortunately, I don't have much of a choice this time. It doesn't matter this time around anyway. This right here is what the fun's all about. Getting out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm on highway, I think it was 240. I don't remember. Get out and about where there isn't as much human development. You know, I could take a gravel road and hit out miles out that way and not see nobody for miles. That's where it's at. I'd rather take a desert, forest, up in the mountains, anywhere, rather than cities and the like. If I had a food source, had an RV that was completely self-contained, and Wi-Fi, because I'm a Wi-Fi addict. If I had those things, like on a Wi-Fi on a data plan or something, people would never see me. I'd just do my people contact through social media, and beyond that, people wouldn't even know.